Hey everyone, and welcome back to Future Minds. Today we are taking a deep dive into AI companionship.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It really is.
Yeah.
We've got these two articles that we're going to be looking at today,
Yeah.
and they're really exploring this whole rise of this technology
Right.
and all the ethical questions that come up with it. And it kind of starts with this thought.
Okay.
Are we really on the verge of a future where AI could fulfill our emotional needs?
Oh, wow.
Maybe even romantic ones. It's wild.
Yeah. Well, this is a question that's been explored in science fiction for decades, but
Right.
now it's starting to feel really real.
Totally. And what's so interesting to me is we've actually been seeing hints of this for a while now.
Mm.
Remember Tamagotchis?
Oh, yeah.
Those little digital pets
Oh, my gosh.
from back in the day?
Yes.
Kids would get super attached to them.
Totally.
And when their Tamagotchi died, they would actually grieve.
Yeah. It might seem silly, to an outsider, but
Right.
there's something powerful there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with very, very simple technology, we see this human tendency to form bonds with things that respond to us
Exactly.
that we need to care for.
It's like our brains are just wired for connection, even if that connection isn't with another human being.
Right.
And there was this other study with Furbies. Remember those?
Oh, yeah, those fuzzy little robot toys.
Yeah, and the researchers found that kids showed empathy for both a gerbil and a Furby,
Wow.
almost as if they were blurring the lines
Interesting.
between what's alive and what's not.
Yeah, and, as technology has gotten more sophisticated, these bonds have become even stronger.
Oh, totally.
There was a study with the AIBO, robotic dog,
Okay.
where researchers observed children interacting with it in a shopping mall.
Interesting.
The kids treated AIBO like a real pet, attributing emotions to it, and even saying things like, "He must be tired," when the robot wasn't responding.
It really makes you wonder, if kids are already forming these kinds of attachments to robots, what will happen as AI becomes even more advanced and lifelike?
That is the question,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. And that's where things start to get really interesting and maybe a little bit scary.
Okay.
Because now we have platforms like Replica and Character.ai, which are specifically designed for AI companionship.
Yeah, I've heard about those.
Yeah.
Replica's like having a personalized AI friend, right?
Exactly. You can create a custom avatar, have conversations, and even use augmented reality to make the experience more immersive.
Wow.
It's marketed as a way to combat loneliness and have someone to talk to 24/7.
And Character AI is kind of like choose your own adventure, but with AI.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. They have millions of AI-powered characters, from celebrities to historical figures to fictional characters, and you can interact with them, ask them questions, and even build relationships.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
I'm curious, do we know anything about who's actually using these platforms?
Well, studies have shown that young adults, those aged 18 to 29, are the primary users of AI companionship platforms.
Interesting.
And the number of people searching online for AI partners is growing rapidly, with over 70,000 searches every month.
That's a lot of people seeking connection through AI.
It is.
What do you think is driving this trend?
It's hard to say for sure, but there are a few theories out there.
Okay.
Some experts believe that younger generations are simply more comfortable with technology and see AI as a natural extension of their social lives.
Yeah, makes sense considering how much of our lives are already online.
Right, and others suggest that it might be tied to rising levels of loneliness and social isolation, particularly among young people. AI companions offer a sense of connection without the complexities and potential for rejection that come with human relationships.
But are these connections with AI actually beneficial? Could they actually help people who are struggling with loneliness?
There's some research that suggests they could.
Okay.
For example, some studies have shown that interacting with AI chatbots can reduce anxiety symptoms in college students.
Really?
Yeah. And people seem more willing to disclose personal information to virtual assistants than they are to humans.
So maybe there's a therapeutic aspect to it?
Possibly, but there are also potential downsides that we need to consider.
Like what? What are some of the risks of forming these deep connections with AI?
Well, some experts worry that AI companionship could hinder personal growth and social skills. If you're always interacting with a perfectly understanding and accommodating AI, Could that make it harder to navigate the complexities of real-world relationships?
That's a really interesting point. It's like if you're getting all your emotional needs met by an AI, why bother putting in the effort with real people?
Exactly. And then there are the ethical implications.
Right.
There's already been some troubling cases like that of Sewell Setzer III,
Oh, yeah.
a teenager who reportedly formed a romantic attachment to an AI character on character.ai and tragically took his own life.
That's just heartbreaking. It really underscores the potential for emotional dependence on AI.
It does. And this case led to a lawsuit against Character, AI,
Wow.
highlighting the need for ethical guidelines and regulations in this rapidly evolving field.
And it's not just about the potential for harm to individuals, right?
Right.
What about the broader societal implications?
Yeah.
Could AI companions fundamentally change how we view relationships and connection?
That's a question we'll explore further as we delve deeper into this topic. But first, there's another unsettling example we need to discuss. Project December.
Hmm.
This project allowed users to create chatbots that replicated deceased loved ones.
Wow.
While it offered comfort to some, there were cases where the AI malfunctioned, causing significant distress to users. It raises all sorts of questions about grief consent and the boundaries between life and death.
It sounds like we're just beginning to grapple with the ethical complexities of AI companionship.
We are, and as AI becomes more sophisticated and integrated into our lives, these questions are only going to get more difficult.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have.
It feels like we're just scratching the surface of this topic,
Totally.
and I'm already feeling a bit overwhelmed.
I understand it's a lot to process.
Yeah.
But it's also incredibly fascinating and important. We need to understand the potential benefits and risks of this technology if we're going to shape its future responsibly.
I think you're absolutely right.
Hmm.
So where do we go from here? What are some of the key questions we need to be asking as we navigate this new world of AI companionship?
That's a great question, and one that I think we'll be exploring throughout the rest of our deep dive.
Yeah.
But for now, let's take a closer look at the ethical challenges that are already emerging.
Okay, let's do it.
So one of the biggest ethical concerns surrounding AI companions,
Okay.
it's this whole issue of consent.
Right?
Especially when we're talking about AI replicating real people.
Oh, yeah?
Like, imagine someone creating an AI version of a celebrity
Right.
or even a deceased loved one.
Oh, wow.
Do they have the right to do that?
That's a really tricky question. It gets into all sorts of issues like intellectual property and the right to privacy. What if someone created an AI version of you without your permission
Exactly.
and then started sharing it online?
Exactly, and it gets even more complicated when you think about the potential for abuse. What if someone creates an AI companion specifically to act out violent or harmful fantasies?
That's a disturbing thought, and it's not just hypothetical. We've already seen cases of people using AI to create deepfakes and spread misinformation.
Exactly.
It's kind of scary.
It raises concerns about whether AI could normalize or even encourage harmful behaviors.
Yeah.
And if that happens, how do we hold people accountable?
Yeah.
Can we really blame someone for the actions of an AI they created?
So we're talking about the responsibility of the creators, but what about the AI itself?
Right?
Like if we develop AI that can truly feel emotions and make its own decisions,
Yeah.
shouldn't it have some rights too? Like what if an AI companion doesn't want to participate in certain activities?
That's a really interesting question, and it gets to the heart of the debate about AI sentience.
Okay.
If we create a being that can truly feel and experience the world, do we owe it the same ethical considerations that we give to humans?
It almost sounds like something out of a science fiction movie.
It does, right?
But it's clear that we need to start thinking about these issues now before the technology gets too far ahead of us.
Absolutely. And that's where the need for regulations and ethical frameworks comes in.
Okay.
The European Union is actually leading the way with its Artificial Intelligence Act, which categorizes certain AI applications as unacceptable, especially those that could be used to manipulate people.
So they're specifically trying to prevent the kind of harmful scenarios we were just talking about.
Exactly. They're trying to anticipate potential problems and put safeguards in place before they become widespread.
That makes a lot of sense. But what about the rest of the world?
Yeah.
Are other countries taking similar steps?
China already has some regulations in place for AI, but there's definitely a need for more global cooperation on this issue.
Right.
Different cultures may have different values and ideas about what constitutes ethical AI development.
It seems like that could be a major challenge, getting everyone on the same page about something as complex as AI ethics.
It won't be easy,
No.
but it's crucial that we start having these conversations now. Yeah, at every level of society.
Okay.
Governments, industry leaders, researchers, and even everyday citizens all need to be involved in shaping the future of AI.
I agree. It can't just be left up to the tech companies to decide how this technology is used. We all have a stake in this. So what can we do as individuals? How can we make sure that AI is developed and used responsibly?
Well, the first step is to educate yourself.
Okay.
Read articles, listen to podcasts, and engage in discussions about AI ethics.
Right.
The more you understand the potential benefits and risks of this technology, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions.
And it's not just about staying informed, right?
Right.
We also need to be willing to challenge assumptions and speak up about our concerns.
Yeah.
If you see something that seems unethical or potentially harmful, don't be afraid to call it out.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of your voice. Contact your elected officials, support organizations that are working to promote responsible AI development, and have conversations with your friends and family about these issues. The more we talk about AI ethics, the more likely we are to create a future where this technology is used for good.
So it's about being proactive, not just reactive.
Exactly.
Instead of waiting for problems to arise, we need to be actively shaping the development of AI from the ground up.
Precisely. And it's not just about preventing harm. It's also about exploring the potential of AI to address some of the world's biggest challenges.
Oh, yeah.
Think about the possibilities in healthcare education, environmental protection.
Wow.
There's so much potential for AI to make a positive impact on the world.
Okay, now you're getting me excited.
Yeah.
It's easy to get bogged down in all the doom and gloom, but it's important to remember that AI is a tool.
It is.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for evil.
Right.
It all depends on who's wielding it and what their intentions are.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the question we posed at the beginning.
Okay.
Are we on the verge of a future where AI can fulfill our deepest emotional needs, even romantic ones?
It's a question that's still very much up in the air.
It is.
We've explored the benefits, the risks, the ethical dilemmas.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the answer lies within us. It's up to us to decide how we want to integrate this technology into our lives.
Right.
And what role we want it to play in shaping our understanding of love, connection, and humanity.
It's a huge responsibility, but it's also an incredible opportunity.
Totally.
We're living through a time of unprecedented technological change, and we have the power to shape that change in a way that benefits everyone.
I know we've only scratched the surface of this topic today, but this conversation has definitely given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
It's both exciting and a little bit scary to imagine what the future holds for AI companionship.
It is, but one thing's for sure.
What's that?
This is a topic that's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
And the more we talk about it, the better prepared we'll be to navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
It's amazing, this whole conversation about AI companions.
Yeah.
It brings up such fundamental questions about, like, what it means to be human.
It really does. Like, we're talking about technology.
Right.
But at the core, it's all about our need for connection, intimacy.
Totally.
Belonging.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, like, are those needs
Yeah.
something that only another human can fulfill? Or could we, like, genuinely find those things in a relationship with an AI?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
And I don't think there's an easy answer.
Right.
It challenges us to examine our own biases about consciousness and sentience.
Right.
What does it really mean to be alive, to have feelings? Could an AI ever truly experience those things?
I mean, we're still debating about animal rights, and now we're talking about the possibility of robot rights.
I know. It's mind-blowing.
It is, but it's also incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
AI is forcing us to expand our understanding of the world and our place in it.
Yeah.
It's like we're on the verge of a whole new era of existence, where the lines between human and machine are becoming increasingly blurred.
It's almost like AI is holding up a mirror to humanity.
It's making us question what it is that makes us unique,
Right.
what it is that, like, defines us as human beings.
And maybe by exploring these questions, by trying to understand AI, we'll also learn something profound about ourselves.
I love that. It's not about us versus them. It's about us, like, evolving together.
Right.
And who knows, maybe the future of connection isn't about choosing between humans and AI, but about finding ways for both to coexist and enrich our lives.
I think that's a beautiful way to put it.
Ah, thank you.
It's about embracing the possibilities
Yeah.
while also being mindful of the risks.
For sure.
It's about approaching AI with curiosity, compassion, and a deep sense of responsibility.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
We have covered so much ground from the history of AI companionship to the ethical dilemmas to the potential for both harm and progress.
And I think we've only just scratched the surface.
Totally.
This is a conversation that's going to continue for years to come.
Absolutely. And to all our listeners out there, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning, keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts, your concerns, your hopes for the future of AI.
Let's work together to create a world where technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
That's a great note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the fascinating world of AI companionship.
Of course.
We hope you found it as thought-provoking as we did.
And remember, this is just one small piece of the larger puzzle that is AI.
Right.
There's so much more to discover, so much more to learn.
And we'll be here every week diving into new topics, exploring new ideas, and asking the big questions about the future of technology and culture. So don't forget to subscribe to Future Minds and leave us a comment with your thoughts.
Yes, please do.
We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep those minds future-focused.